Hey everyone, welcome to the channel where we love to talk about movies. Welcome especially if you're new. If you enjoy talking about movies and staying up to speed on what's in theaters and what's worth checking out, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a review. Alright, with that, we're going to get into today's review, which is for Aftersun. So in this movie, Sophie reflects on the shared joy and private melancholy of a holiday she took with her father 20 years earlier. Memories real and imagined filled the gaps as she tries to reconcile the father she knew with the man she didn't. So I'll keep this spoiler free. I'll just talk to 5 points of the film that stood out to me, or stood out most to me, and then I'll give my final letter grade. And yeah, that'll be the format of this review. So first up, of the points that stood out to me was the cinematography. I really loved how this film was shot. It just felt so artistic and not something that I had personally seen before. So a lot of the scenes, they just tend to like focus on seemingly kind of unimportant things. It's just like how they frame the scenes. A lot of times it'll focus on, it won't be directly on the characters. It's kind of off to the side and you just hear the conversation that's happening. Or you can maybe see what's playing out through like a reflection on the TV screen and stuff like that, where the shot is just of like a TV screen. And yeah, I thought it was really creative, and I liked that throughout the whole film. And so, yeah, great job on the cinematography. The second thing that I really liked was just the father-daughter dynamic. And yeah, it just felt like a very genuine relationship. And yeah, it's not picture perfect. And there's a lot that happens. Both of them are human. Both of them can kind of snap at each other at times, but you can tell that they very much love each other. And yeah, it just felt like a very real thing that they captured in this movie. And then the third thing that stood out to me, kind of following up on that note, was the child actress that they got for Sophie. I thought she did a phenomenal job. Movies like these really are make or break, I think, on the child actor or actress. And in this case, I think she did a phenomenal job. She felt like a real person and not just some actor who doesn't have all that, like, I mean, again, like, I'm sure any child actor that's out there in the industry is a lot better than I could be, but yeah, a lot of them are, you still like, they still come across as kids playing roles, but Sophie here felt like a real girl, and just, yeah, came across as very authentic. So great job by the actress, and also I'm sure the director, and all the guidance that she got to get there. But yeah, kudos to her in, I think, really making this film. The fourth thing that I liked was kind of the deeper meaning that I think is there in the film. I didn't fully understand some of the shots that they had. There's, yeah, a series of shots where it's kind of a strobe light effect, and I know yeah, I wasn't able to pick up on the meaning in the movie. So like, if you got theories on kind of what that symbolized or what that represented, I'd love to hear it in the comments below. I've got my theories a little bit, but not, they're not concrete enough. I was never the best at like literature and picking up the underlying meaning of things. So this one definitely is a little bit more abstract for me, but I think it's something where I'm curious to look that up, which I just haven't yet, because I wanted to get my review and my honest thoughts in before I kind of start digging down that rabbit hole. But I like that the movie had it, but it wasn't the entire focus of the movie. So there's still plenty that I liked, the main story and stuff like that, which was very easy to follow, and it didn't feel like it had, like, there's plenty there that isn't super subtle messaging or whatnot. So, and then the last thing that I liked is just, yeah, the story that it told, the part that was accessible, at least to me, was just how it's a movie that's not really about much of anything. It's just about two people. There isn't a whole lot of plot, and it's just kind of about living in the moment and being with somebody. And I really liked that. I think at face value, it may seem, I was a little surprised. I'm like, yeah, like, if you told me what this story was about, and that there isn't much, I would guess that it's not all that interesting of a movie. But I was engaged the entire time, and it's more of just like an experience. So I enjoyed it for that reason. But those are kind of the top 5 things that stood out to me about the film. I'd love to hear, what are some things that stood out to you about the film, especially the things that you liked. I try to keep things positive, but if the film didn't work for you necessarily, I'd love to hear why. And but yeah, overall, giving kind of a letter grade for this film, I give it an A. It's one that I recommend. I think it's worth checking out. It's certainly not like your flashiest film ever, but I think it is an experience, and not necessarily one that you have to see in theaters, but I mean, any movie I think is better seen in theaters. But it didn't necessarily demand the big screen if you're kind of on the fence about if you should see it in theaters or not. Although I think theaters are a great thing, and if you're on the fence about going to theaters or staying home, go to the theater. It's great to support them. So yeah, those are other. Yeah, I just liked how it was. Yeah, it just felt like an experience at the end of the day. I thought the acting was great, and the story, or kind of lack thereof, the little story that we got was perfect for the film that this was. So. It's one that I recommend. Go see it if you haven't. And yeah, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to smash that like and subscribe button. And with that, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.